Now at a rally going on to show support for the family of the man who was shot by Milwaukee police earlier this year.
Jamont Terry live outside the federal courthouse with more. Jamont.
Carol and Mike, there are two demonstrations going on simultaneously in this 5 o'clock hour. Here at the federal courthouse behind me, community members have organized a rally. They are chanting "Hands up, don't shoot" as they show support as they try to seek answers in the death of Dontre Hamilton. And right down the way near Red Arrow Park, Dontre Hamilton's family is marching. You can hear them chanting. They are en route to the federal courthouse as they too try to get answers from MPD. I can tell you earlier today that Dontre Hamilton's family did meet with representatives from MPD as they seek justice. Dontre Hamilton's family came to a meeting Monday afternoon hoping to meet with Chief Ed Flynn and said the chief sent 3 high-ranking officers to hear the family's concerns.
We're tired. We're tired of waiting. We're tired of sitting here as a family hurting.
Back in April, Milwaukee police officers shot Hamilton in Red Arrow Park. Police say Hamilton became combative with the cop and grabbed the officer's baton. The two started to fight. It ended with that officer firing several rounds, killing Hamilton.
He was a good person. His mental health issues didn't kill him. An officer that was a 13-year veteran of Milwaukee Police Department killed Dontre.
The case has sparked similarities to the officer-involved shooting in Ferguson, Missouri. The difference in that case, the officer has been identified. MPD still has not named the officer who killed Hamilton.
What makes them able to get this information in 2 weeks, and here we are 4 months later and we don't have any information.
The Hamilton family says what they want is clear.
We're desperate right now to learn the findings of the investigation.
The district attorney is currently reviewing the case handed over by the DOJ.
For us to continue to have this thing festering so the community can get frustrated, it's a recipe for disaster.
Alderman Joe Davis understands the family's frustration. He says if the DOJ's investigation is finished, the community should not have to wait until the district attorney makes a charging decision.
You know, these are the type of things that create a mistrust in the public.
And back live, you are looking at a live picture as Dontre Hamilton's family marches through the streets of downtown Milwaukee. They started at Red Arrow Park where his life ultimately ended, and they will come to the federal courthouse where demonstrators are already rallying. Again, if you take me back live here outside the federal courthouse, this is a very peaceful demonstration. This is where that group marching in downtown will ultimately end. Unclear exactly how long they will be out here rallying. I want to point out that MPD left that private meeting this afternoon and would not talk to reporters or the media at all. We do know, again, this case is under review by the DA's office. No word on the exact timetable as to how long it will take to have charging decisions or no charging decisions against this officer. Reporting live in downtown outside the federal courthouse, Jamont Terry, today's TMJ4.
All right, thank you, Jamont. And worth noting here that the other demonstration, the one that started at Red Arrow Park, has also been peaceful. It's been noisy as they've marched through the streets, and MPD officers on motorcycle are actually closing down intersections to make sure that traffic doesn't inadvertently run into that crowd.
Yeah. And right now we're going to go back to some breaking news. Police are now blocking off streets near Wisconsin and Water to make room and make sure that the protesters are able to do their demonstrations right now.
Yeah, the crowd basically walked down Water Street. Once they got to Wisconsin Avenue, they just stopped there, blocking traffic. Tom Murray joins us live on the phone with details. Tom?
Yeah, Mike and Carol, we're able to provide this picture to you with a live shot from a backpack unit. This is incredible. These demonstrators have shut down rush hour traffic this evening by standing stationary at the intersection of Wisconsin and Water, 2 of the busiest streets in downtown Milwaukee. There are police officers on motorcycles surrounding this group, but it does not appear that police officers were prepared initially for this, but as we have been walking, more and more officers on motorcycles have been coming forward. You can see we are now walking down Wisconsin Avenue towards the federal courthouse. Among the demonstrators in this crowd, Dontre Hamilton's family. Dontre Hamilton was the man who was shot in Red Arrow Park. Also, Corey Stingley's father is among those marching. Corey Stingley was the West Dallas teenager who died several days after being restrained by other customers in that convenience store. This crowd seems to be growing as we march down Wisconsin Avenue. Several dozen people chanting. I'll hold the phone up here so you can hear them for just a second. They're chanting, "Who's got the power? Fight the power. Who's got the power? Fight the power." They are marching right now to the federal courthouse. Mike and Carol.
We do know that family members of Dontre Hamilton have been wanting to meet with Police Chief Ed Flynn. They've been frustrated. They want to talk and take their concerns. Any indication that any sort of meeting might take place in the future?
We know there was a meeting, as Jermont was talking about earlier in our newscast, between Dontre Hamilton's family and police officers earlier today. We know that they want to meet with Police Chief Ed Flynn. There has been no indication from the Milwaukee Police Department yet when that meeting might occur.
All right, Tom Murray joining us live from along Wisconsin Avenue. Worth noting here that they shut down Wisconsin and Water, the protesters did, for, I would say, what, 3, maybe 4 minutes, and now they are moving east toward the federal courthouse on Wisconsin Avenue, and obviously police on the scene shutting down the side streets so that no one gets injured by any vehicular traffic.
A similar scene we saw this weekend and as well as this past Friday. We are going to continue to monitor this breaking news and bring you the latest. We're going to take a quick break and be right back.